Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful to the Minister for the conversation which we've just had and for the opportunity for me to speak publicly about the furore which has been happening in the last few days. So I would like to begin by stressing that the relationship between the British government, the British High Commission, the British High Commissioner, that's me, and the Honourable Minister, the government of Zambia, is a good one. It's a very close one. We talk frankly to each other. The Minister, the fact that the Minister's office and the High Commissioner are close by means that he can call me over and I can be over in a jiffy to discuss any issue with him. Over the last few days, what we've seen has been an audacious attempt to drive a wedge between Britain and Zambia. I've been reluctant previously to mention Zambia Watchdog by name because by doing so I didn't want to give them any credence. But I think we know that particular organ, it's the way it operates is to create a distorted story in the hope that it will cause a row. That's what they try to do. So the reports about my tweets and my meeting at FIC have been distorted very much. And in particular, I take exception to the way in which my reference to the Honourable Minister for Information was then manipulated by changing the punctuation to suggest that, that I was associating her with misinformation, but actually the reference to misinformation was about Zambia Watchdog. So I want to be absolutely clear about that. The Honourable Minister and I have talked about the Financial Intelligence Centre, and we've talked about the government's efforts to tackle corruption. I have been very delighted to hear about the decision by His Excellency the President to instruct the law enforcement agencies to up their game. Corruption is something we should all be concerned about because money that's stolen is money that then can't be spent on education and health. It is very important that the law enforcement agencies work effectively and people are prosecuted. But I know that the government are on the case, and that is very good to hear. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, as alluded to earlier on, I had to call the British High Commissioner because of what is circulating on the social media. You see, the government of Zambia has had very cordial relationship with the British government, and it would not be in order for social media houses to try and tarnish the image of the British government, the image of the Zambian government. And I know that the social media has taken advantage of the government and the president's benevolence to try and go beyond the norm of their business, what they're there for. And I think very soon, as we enact the cyber law into place, we'll make sure that these guys are brought to book. We cannot continue to have this kind of stories flying around, even when they know very well that they actually have no truth in them. You've seen situations which have happened in countries like Rwanda. That is all happening. That has all happened because of perception, things which are not factual, and the people have died in numbers. Look at Libya today. Not long ago, Libya had free water was right, electricity was right, but look at Libya today. So we'll try and work round the clock to make sure that the culprits that want to twist information from people, especially people who are coming from superior offices like a high commissioner, an ambassador, a president, a minister. People want to take advantage because we have not yet gotten to a point where cybercrime will be put into place, but it won't be long. sooner than later, quite a good number of people in that industry will dance to our tune. Thank you very much.
Honourable Minister, could I just add, I think this is a really important issue about freedom of expression and freedom of the media. And the UK and the rest of the European Union, we believe very passionately in freedom of media, freedom of expression. However, there are responsibilities on journalists, and I think whilst it's important that the media is as free as possible in Zambia, it's also incumbent on individual journalists to act responsibly, and I think we have an example this week of a particular organisation who have acted irresponsibly, and that has tarnished the reputation of journalism in Zambia, and I'm sure that other journalists will rise to the challenge of being more responsible and setting the record straight.
Thank you very much. Because even you as media houses know very well that the president, from the time he got into office, he's been quite pragmatic in implementing all legislative objectives. There's no president who can say corruption must come on board when he knows that that is the cancer. Everywhere, whichever country you go to, corruption is the cancer. Because it goes in the opposite direction of development. So it is only prudent that freedom of expression, which is in Zambia, yes, but it must not be abused. It must not be abused. Because very soon, some of you colleagues, the law will catch up with you. Thank you very much. Yes?
I wanted to clarify maybe from His Excellency. Are you saying that they changed the wording on the Twitter and all the other tweets? Is it you who was tweeting, or maybe some people changed the wording?
It's important to look at what I actually said in these tweets, rather than seeing what others have said I've said. Actually look at my Twitter feed, and you'll see for yourselves what I've said. But I do express concern about corruption. Of course I do. It's very important. British taxpayers investing money in development in Zambia. It would be a very, very serious matter if some of that money was misappropriated. And equally, British investors, they need confidence to invest in Zambia, and there is corruption in this country, and it's quite serious. And the government is tackling that, and information which the Minister has shared with me just now is very reassuring and very welcome.
Thank you. Any other question? Thank you very much. Go and do your work.